Hey everybody. I was just doing some, afternoon exercises to have my luscious vocal cords be hydrated so I can talk today. So I have no idea if anybody will even pop on here. It's 1:45 on Wednesday afternoon. I'm assuming I'll just be talking to myself more than likely. But I thought I'd pop on and see if anybody was as bored as I am and want to chat a bit. I actually have some tea brewing and up there at my counter, so I'll be getting myself some Tiger Paw green tea from Cincinnati, Ohio. Here momentarily, I'll be drinking it from my favorite glass cup. My hey, what's up, Mez? My kid says tea to mean gossip. Interesting. That might be a new one. I haven't heard that one yet, but my son, he's always dropping some new and always involving terms. So who knows? Who knows what it is? Yeah, what's going on? Oh, we got Alex up in here. We got TT Autograph, aka Tony, aka Troy Rudder. We got some heavy hitters in here. We got some future Hall of Famers, which I like. We got the Who's Who, and we got the Who also. Oh my goodness, we got Spidey up in here. Rania boys, we got some dishes, some croissants, some flan, and then we got the green tea and the don't call me a donut. What's the correct spelling, guys? Is it DONUT or is it DOUGHNUT? Like, what is the correct spelling? I always wonder. It's like if you live in England, it's GREY, but here's GRAY or whatever. I wonder how people spell donut. Like, is there a proper way of spelling it or not? Is there the Queen's English of spelling it, like potato? So yeah, and then there's people who spell color with a U. So I always wondered, oh yeah, dope nuts, nice. Ask Dan Quayle, whoa, shots fired, Troy. Shot is fired. Oh, now we got Bob Lewis up in here. Uh-oh. Man, this is gonna be a party. I honestly thought I'd be on here by myself, and then like one person might be like, "Hi, how you doing?" Give me a little thumbs up and then disappear, and I'm back to talking to myself. But we got some heavy hitters. Oh man, this is great, guys. Let's take a look. Oh, Mike Wise up in here. Yeah, the Scrubs. No, Scrubs. I'll talk about myself, for sure. Gonna never get in. Gray or gray? That is the real question, right? Donut. There's somebody who says hi, then they bounce. Oh, BCC, what's up? How you doing? As gray as the poupon. Oh, hold on, wait, that's French. Gray poupon. Remember when we used to think in the 80s, guys, that the height of class and elegance was rolling down your window with some mustard, with some like spicy mustard. And it's like, do you have any mustard? No, but I have some Grey Poupon. And everybody's like, oh! That was the height of sophistication in the 80s. I wish we could go back to those days, because I would be rolling down my window every single day, having a little jar of Grey Poupon in my hand. So, yes, most definitely. Oh, go teach some Utes. All right, Alex. All right, make sure you tell them about MAGA 2020. They need to hear that at that level. Tell them it came from a Zombie Collector. That means it means a lot to them, you know. They'll be like, if he says it, it means it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Josh is in here. Yo, Josh, Impact player. Don't hate the game. Don't hate the play, hate the game. Yes. We got Scotty. We got that. Mentos commercials were my favorite. Yeah, man. They're always like, Mentos, the fresh maker. Oh my gosh. I remember those commercials. They were like literally on MTV every day, like 1,000 commercials a day, those Mentos commercials, because they were hip, I guess. Yes. We need to bring back Grey Poupon and Mentos commercials because they are as essential as AF. Essential AF. AF. Those commercials are essential. We got it back in the day. Yeah, that's talk we listened to. Yeah, oh, that's true. There was no internet and cells. That's back in the day. Well, they had cell phones, I think, but not like we use them today. I'm being like petty. I know they have bag phones and stuff like that. But I'm just messing about. I see so many bloggers. I just carry out fancy mustard in my local apartment. Yes, man. That's the way to do it, man. That's how you live that life. That was the good life, man. Like some other British old dude. Oh, dang, yes. Yeah, it's not the same as the old British dude. I don't feel like I could get on board with that action with their all busted up grills. Man, that was cool, yeah. I used to listen to lots of 90s hip-hop, and obviously I grew up as a teenager in the mid-90s, early to mid-90s, and yeah, man, for sure, Biggie and Tupac and all that stuff back then. I used to listen to lots of Wu-Tang Clan, Too Short, Eazy-E, all those guys. Tribe Called Quest, I like them a lot. Arrested Development. Yeah, I used to listen to a lot of those guys back in the day. Oh, Spuds McKenzie, yeah, that was the jam back in the day with old Spuds. He always had the little eye. What was he? Was it Budweiser commercials that he was popular for? I can't remember. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I decided, Patrick, to go on during the day, dude. I just decided to throw caution in the wind and just go during the day. So yeah, I had not much going on. Yeah. Oh, somebody's doing some Spidey calligraphy over here. We're gonna do some hieroglyphs or whatnot. It's like we're all cavemen in a cave and doing some painting on the walls with a spider and fist and a spider web. That's so gangster of you. Oh, Doug's in Boston. Pinky's out, dude. Pinky is out. I'm going to actually go get my tea right now. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm making my green tea. Making the green tea. Don't worry, I'll be right there. Don't you all fret. All right. Now the trick is not to let it spill everywhere. So a little known fact, guys. I don't know if you all know this, and it's probably because I didn't know for the longest time. If you are able to access your YouTube page on like a computer, a laptop, whatever, however you can do that, not on your phone, you can go to YouTube Studio. And I have discovered that there have been maybe hundreds of comments that I've missed over the years. And I clicked on the comments button, and there was like all these comments I never knew existed that people had left on my channel, and I never knew that they left them there. And it tells you when people leave comments. Now, because I'm such a comment guy, I didn't know that, and so when I clicked on it, I was like, oh my gosh, there was like literally hundreds of people who've not hundreds of people, but hundreds of messages that have been left for me over the last almost 3 years. So yeah, about maybe 2/3 of them are from Jinbei. I don't know. A lot of them are from Jinbei though. But I've been going through and just like responding. I couldn't believe it. I always went through and I've been like responding. So if you get a response from me a year and a half later, you know where it came from. But I always thought it was very interesting that this whole time I thought I'm very good about responding to every comment. And I've been saying that on my channel for years. And then people probably be like, I've left 10 comments on this guy's channel. He's never once responded to me. Like that guy's a jag off. So, but yes. Oh, Donnie's here. What up, dude? So for sure. Oh my God. Are you talking to me, Josh? I need to hang something on the wall. This is my kitchen. Uh-oh. I had a cough, but don't worry. I didn't cough on anybody. You guys are safe. Yeah, dude, that's what I have. I have a kettle, and I have my green tea leaves, and I use my teapot to strain them. And then I pour them into my Michael Jackson Save the Children cup mug. So yeah. But yeah, the green tea is from actually Cincinnati. It's a Chinese green tea. It's called. They gave it some stupid name, but it's really good. It's like tiger paw, or like green tea tiger paw, or white tiger paw, or something like that. I don't know. It's something ridiculous, but it's actually really good. It's a local tea shop out of Indiana, or out of Cincinnati. I go to every time I go watch a Reds game. I go by there, hang out, and pick up some local teas. It's one of the only tea shops I'm aware of, because I won't go to a place like Teavana. That's ridiculous. They charge you like $20 for like much tea and go, oh, it was farmed in the hills of Nepal by Africans and Indians that were imported there by a tribe of pygmies. Now, also buy this thermos that will also be $47.92. That was harvested during the nuclear blast of Chernobyl. And then it'll be like, your total is $84.92. Thank you. And I'm like, what? So yeah, I don't go in places. So I got to find local tea shops. There may be one in Indianapolis I'm unaware of, because I'm always on the lookout, but I have not seen one. Yeah, comments pending review. Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. I never knew that was a thing, Troy. So I was surprised when I came across it. I was going through because somebody was like, you need to check your analytics. You got to do this, you got to do that. And I'm like, what? Because I don't care about that kind of stuff, but I do care about comments. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I've been spending the last 2 days going through and like commenting back on everything. So yeah. So I've been trying to get caught up. So if you're getting, like I said, random comments that you posted 8 months ago, that's from me. Now you know what it's from. So yeah, I don't want to be downloading YouTube Studio on my phone. I already got the app on my phone, just regular YouTube, and that's enough for me. So, but I definitely understand where you're coming from, Ez. Yeah. Yeah. Need to drink more tea, Holmes. I just got a text. Somebody out there must love me. Somebody just sent me a text. Oh yeah, I just got a text from none other than YouTube Hall of Famer, Nuff Said Cards, Andrew. He just sent me a text. Yes, indeed. Don't ever upset that guy. For sure. No, I'm really drinking tea, dude. I really am. I have my old green tea canister that keeps everything fresh. It's like keeps out the moisture and all that. I obviously can't show you I'm drinking green tea, but I have no alcohol in my house. Probably for the best. So I made myself a frozen pizza. I doctored it up a bit. I put onions, extra cheese, and hot sauce on it. And then I made myself a little pizza. I'm just living the dream right now here in Southern Indiana. Or I'm sorry, Southern Indiana, Central Indiana. So, oh man. In Japanese, if you can't drink hot things, they say nekoshita, which means cat tongue, because cats always like just like really quick when they drink or whatever. They're like, I bet that was really attractive. Y'all like that when I was like, so they say nekoshita, and so they always give me when I lived in Japan, they always give me a hard time because I have to wait. Like most Japanese people that I've ever come across, like all the years I lived there, you could like literally be poured out of a hot cauldron. It could be like literally like lava from Mount Fuji poured into your tea or hot water or whatever they're doing. And they would just be like this, no, like no problem. And I'm over here with my round eyes and white skin, like, I'm so scared. I don't want to burn my lips and my tongue. Is it safe? I said, because they're like, are you okay? Like, come on. And I'm like, all right. Is it safe to drink yet? Is it safe? So I used to get all kind of crap for that. I do. That's how I work up. That's how I walk up to the ladies. I'm like, hey, ladies, I don't know if you know this, but in Japan, they call me cat tongue, nekoshita. And at that point, usually somebody just goes, right in my mouth. They're like, how you like that, cat tongue? So it's not really a good pickup line, So I would recommend not trying to, especially in today's climate for dudes, especially white dudes, I would suggest not trying that at home or in public or privately or anywhere for that matter. You might get punched right in the throat and then have a call from Gloria Albright or whatever. Now, I will say I can do it a lot better than I used to. Back almost 20 years ago, I can handle a lot hotter drinks now. But, it's a struggle is real. Yeah, you gotta show them cat-like reflexes. And that's not because they're Japanese. That's just like, blocking stuff. Cat-like reflexes. I don't want anybody to try to get my channel taken down because they thought I was making some kind of overture towards Asians. Microaggressions, if you will. I've heard that before. Yeah, especially white dudes from Indiana. We're the most endangered species of all white dudes. When I used to work, I worked for a pharmaceutical company, and I was in there like I wasn't really in the call center part because it wasn't really a call center. I was in more of the insurance area. I'm like trying to get for people to get access to the medication who didn't have money or their insurance wouldn't pay for it. It was too expensive. And I was like the only male on the team, and then I was almost one of the only white people on the team. And that was just a couple years ago. And it was very eye-opening because all the women I worked with were saying, you are like such an endangered species. Like if you say anything or even like not say anything, if somebody doesn't like you, you could get yourself in so much trouble in this kind of environment. So it had gotten so bad that people who probably would be more than happy to find a way to get me out of there if they thought they could get me out of there, like even acknowledge the fact that if I just look at somebody wrong, I could have to try to explain myself, even though I didn't do anything wrong. But if roles were reversed, they would not even jump to the conclusion that that person might be a scumbag. But I'm immediately labeled as a scumbag. And from the ladies to tell me that, they're like, man, Jason, I feel bad for you right now. You're like kind of an endangered species. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I would say that, but in the workplace, you have to be very careful. And the weird thing is that I would be very careful, but the girls never were. Like, and these were not just girls, these were women too. These weren't like just 20-year-old girls right out of high school. These were like 30, 40-year-old women. I mean, they would say some of the most like inappropriate sexually charged stuff and nothing was said. But you better believe if I said that in a jokey manner, not directed towards anybody, just like even like making fun of myself, I'd be in the human resources trying to explain myself and trying to like pray to keep my job. It was a very interesting scenario going through that over the years. Wow. Yeah, the blocking technique. Yes, wax on, wax off. Yeah, we're extra white, kind of like extra crispy chicken. We're extra white, man. Well, there's a lot of things that come that people associate Indiana Hoosiers for, good and bad. Like one was Dan Quayle. Thanks, Troy, for doing that. And then now we have Mike Pence. So there's that. But then we also have people like Michael Jackson. We have Axl Rose and Guns N' Roses to be actually from Indiana. We have John Mellencamp, John Cougar Mellencamp if you're dirty, you know? So, but yeah, so you have to, so we have a lot of those guys. Who else? Colonel Sanders is originally from Indiana. You have that, How about them apples? Larry Bird, Hick from French Lick, Donnie Baseball. So yeah, I mean, it's been pretty. So Indiana has a lot of reputation for some of those things, I think. And I feel like most of those guys are pretty good representations of Indiana, like the good old boy kind of thing, except Michael Jackson and the pedophile stuff. That I wouldn't say is a good representation, but unfortunately, it is what it is. You got to take the good and the bad. So, but yeah. Oh, Four Leaf, what's up, dude? Yeah. That's what I try to do, Bob. Just try to be a good guy, man. Like I said, I just do what I do. Scott, what up, man? We got a couple different Scotts up in here. Yeah, Jim Jones, also from Indiana. Good point. Yeah, what was the name of his cult? Shoot, what was it? The People's Temple, I think. I always found it interesting that he had all those people commit suicide in Guyana in 1978, I think November 4th. And then I was born in December of 1978. Not that I has zero connection, but knowing he was from Indiana and he was like this crazy cult leader. And then all the people died. A lot of them came from Indiana, but more of them came from California, where he ended up before he went to Guyana. And then me being born, I always like, that's kind of a weird connection in my mind. No one else is making that connection, I'm sure, but I just remember thinking, like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like 1 month later, I was born. You used to be an expert? Oh, November 18th. See, I was close. I was close. I got the People's Temple before you told me, and I got November 4th. You said November 18th. So I was in the wheelhouse. You're an expert? Don't ask. Okay. You're an expert in mass murdering psychopaths? Nice to know. Good to know, Troy. I like how you said you used to be, but now you got rid of all that knowledge. Yeah, I was born at night, but it wasn't last night. That's why I always tell my former students or anybody who's trying to pull one over on me. I'm like, I remember an old lady used to tell me that when I used to work in the school system, and I stole it from her. I got to give her props. I can't remember her name, but it was like Miss Jackie or something. But she was like, "You try to tell me something I don't already know? You know what? I was born at night, but it wasn't last night, son. Don't be trying to pull that with me. I'll never forget that." Uh-oh. Let's see. Interesting, Troy. You should do a whole autograph connection with all the survivors of the People's Temple. That's one that I don't know if I'd want them to know my address. You might have to use your P.O. box, but that's interesting. Bob, yes, he hung it up. He was like, "No more mass murdering for me. I'm just gonna hang that up. I'll walk away from the hashtag walk away, and I'll go back to that." So, but yeah. So those are some famous and infamous Hoosiers, I guess, for sure. Oh my gosh. So what's going on, everybody? Anything we want to talk about today? Any topics? Anything of interest? Anything we want to talk about? I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody's staying safe. I hope everybody is using their noggins, their own noodle, making good decisions, not decisions based in fear or misinformation, but based on fact and science, and looking around and listening to other people and not just the noise coming from the mass media that wants to keep everybody as sheeple. You know, I hope everybody's doing well. So just make sure you're taking care of yourselves for sure and your loved ones. Today, one of my favorite breakfast place opened back up yesterday, and they had been closed for the better part of a month or whatever, and they just opened up just drive-through, which I didn't even know they even had a drive-through window because it's a sit-down mom-and-pop place, and it's literally 1 minute drive from my house, and I've been craving their breakfast forever. And lo and behold, they sent an email out or a Facebook post out, and it's called Anita's Kitchen. And I think I took Bob there before, if I'm not mistaken. I think I've taken Bob to Anita's Kitchen. If I haven't, sorry. But I've taken a handful of people there, and it's a great breakfast place. And they opened back up like yesterday. Man, I already went there this morning and bought a breakfast. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so good, made me want to smack your mama. Oh, I mean, that's what I'm hearing. I mean, I don't know if it's a fact yet. Has anybody said it's a fact yet? Is it going to happen? The last thing I heard was they were going to talk about playing Arizona, Texas, and Florida, and it was going to be like basically the spring training areas playing to empty stadiums, and then just auxiliary personnel, and then the teams. That's it. And that to me would be fine. I mean, and they would play starting in June and playing all the way through the year, basically. Like they would actually have the World Series in like November, even in December, depending on when they do start and how many games they can get in. Talking about playing lots of double headers. I even heard they're talking about maybe making the game 7 innings instead of 9, like they do in the middle, like they do in the AAA. Also in Japan, they do 7 innings. They don't do a full 9 innings in Japan. And all those things sound good. I think anything should be on the table at this point. I mean, as long as they're not really destroying any like the fabric of the game, then I'm up for almost anything at this point. But yeah, I mean, if that's the case, man, I mean, that'd be awesome if they can start getting that done. Yeah, I hooked up Troy. So my only request is, Troy, is that if you do get a TTM through the cards I sent you, if you could give me a heads up, not necessarily in your video, but just like, oh yeah, watch this video. Some of the cards you gave me got a TTM, because I just like no, and that's why I stopped sending care packages to Chase and Ink, because I would send them all these Texas Ranger cards and all these other TTM guys that I know sign, and then he never hardly acknowledged the fact that I sent him anything. And not that I need an acknowledgement necessarily on YouTube, but he never sent me anything privately. And then, like, he never said, oh, yeah, these cards came in. These are the autographs I got from Jason, the cards. So I'm like, you know, you're asking for TTM fuel. I send it to you, and then I don't get any kind of, like, heads up on how you're using it and how, if it's working out for you or what. So I stopped sending them stuff because I was kind of felt like I'll just get used and abused. All right, see you, Bobby. Yeah, I don't see. That's the thing. Like I was watching something. There's like a lot. I'm starting to notice in Indiana, at least, lots of old people are out and about, moving around again. And as old people are back to out, moving around, they're not so scared anymore. I'm assuming a lot of the baseball players would be signing through the mail again, because at first they're like, cardboard could have the Rona on it for like 3 days. Don't touch cardboard because it can make you sick. It's like, how can you not touch cardboard and plastic? I mean, that stuff you touch every single day if you go anywhere. If you step outside your house, you're touching cardboard, some kind of paper products, plastic, and they're like, if you touch it, you're going to die. So no wonder some old Major League Baseball players don't want to touch anything and sign it. They don't want to get sick. I don't blame them. But now they're all like, "Oh yeah, that was not exactly what we thought, and it's fine." And carry on, business as usual. There's nothing to see here. So I'm glad to hear that they're getting back out and signing again, and you're starting to see an uptick. See you later, Troy Rudder. I don't know. I mean, I think they said they're going to start testing last thing I had heard is that they're testing people, every day, of course, before they get there. They're like going through an exam or whatever, getting tested before they came into the building to see if they had any symptoms or they had a fever or whatnot, which again, we all know supposedly you can be asymptomatic and spread it around to everybody. But again, it's, healthy, normal, healthy people, especially athletes, they seem to be 100% fine. They may have gotten it, but there's like nothing that they should be really worried about. I mean, it's like you're talking about the less of a even a percentage of a 0.001%, I think, has had any serious outcome, which is great. So I don't really know why you would keep them from not playing. It's not like, you're hearing a rash of 20 and 30-year-olds just dropping dead from the Rona. So I would assume that you could relatively practice social distancing, doing all the proper stuff and get the guys out on the field and start playing. I don't know why you couldn't do that. It's not like in baseball you're on top of each other anyways. It's not like it's football and basketball where you're like literally grabbing each other, all that kind of stuff. The only time that anything's really touching you is like a glove possibly, or if you slide into somebody, but you slide into their leg or their feet. It's not like you're like sliding into their face. Give me a hug with your mouth open. So, yeah, put the Yanks and the Mets together. That'll be fun. Oh, good, Doug. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear that. There was an older player's wife that put a photo of him signing a ton of cards saying the Rona quarantine brought an uptick in left. That's awesome, man. Well, I mean, like, here's the thing. I mean, I would think right now is the best time to be a TTMer. Maybe not like first part of March or the middle of March when everything hit because, everybody was in panic mode. I completely understand that. But now that we're all still sequestered in our house and demanded by our governments and our principalities and our governors and mayors and all this other stuff, that if you leave your house for any other reason aside from the most severe reasons like food and whatnot, you're going to possibly have, issues. I mean, this is the perfect time to be a TTMer. I mean, and probably the perfect time for a recipient of a TTM because you're just sitting around bored out of your mind. I would think a lot of people who probably wouldn't sign normally would be signing autographs because it gives them something to do, to read letters and, appreciate their fans from around the United States and around the world in some cases. You would think they'd appreciate it. It's already been established that you can't get the coronavirus through the mail, like through the mailers. Because if that was the case, then why are they sending like mailers in the mail, like coupons and junk mail and your bills in the mail and everything else if you can get it because it's the exact same principle? So, it doesn't make any sense. So I'm glad to hear that people are TTMing again. Hopefully they'll do well. And maybe some of the guys who TTM frequently will get some mega returns. So that'd be awesome. Oh, you want a TTM zombie? Zombie. Mike, I thought I sent you an autograph in the mail with my last care package. I didn't send you my zombie collector on the checklist card. I forgot to put that in there. That sucks, dude. I'm sorry if I didn't do that. Usually I'm pretty good about that. Oh, man, I'm kind of bummed if I didn't do that. But I'll get another Dodgers care package out to you, dude. Don't worry, I have plenty of Dodgers cards. Oh, I did? Okay, good. I was like, man, that sucks. Because I've done that before. I'll get all the main reason I'm sending the cards out to the person, and I forget my little signature card. And I'm like, man, I'm not opening all this back up. That's just a waste. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Doug. I mean, how many of those players? I mean, a lot of those players, they're in their late 50s and, of course, much older that played in the 80s and up. So if you're sending it's a guarantee if you're sending a fan letter, TTM, to anybody who played in the 80s and, of course, and before, they're at least in their probably mid-50s, if not much older. And, yeah, you're right. I mean, a fan letter, a request for an autograph in the mail is probably some of the best interaction they're going to get. Instead of sitting there at their house by themselves, like you said, cut off from their kids, their grandkids, their friends, their families. Maybe they're working, just for kicks and giggles. So, because they are older and they're more susceptible. So I would think that would be a perfect time. And I would think if you tailor your autograph request to that and asking how they're doing and making sure they're feeling okay, and you're not like trying to take advantage of the situation. I mean, you're obviously, if you're their fan, you're sending them an autograph, you like them. To show that you're concerned, it'll only help you increase your odds of getting an autograph request back. Mike, you want a headshot? I'll be like this. Terry Hay. That's good, Scott. Hey, see you later, Patrick. Take care, brother. Thanks for popping in, bro. Hey, Scott, how you been doing, man? I saw on your on Facebook that you said you had to go to the hospital. Is everything okay? I must have missed that from the day or two ago, and then I was scrolling through, and then I saw that you had listed that you had went to the hospital. I hope all is well. I mean, obviously you're here talking with us right now, so I would hope you're doing okay. So, but yeah, man, I think TTM right now would be perfect time to be TTM. And I mean, really, you would think at this point, most states have been pushed out for another 2 weeks, I would think. I've heard most states go until at least mid-May. So if you start sending things out between now and the end of the week, and knowing most places are not going to be opening up, and if they are, they have a very limited rolling opening, that you can be able to still get a lot of TTM requests returned, I would think. That would be a positive. So, oh, it was a prank, dude? What the heck, man? You got me, dude. You got me. I was like, what? Because I know you talk a lot about missing, Sarah and, being like locked up in your house and stuff. So I know that's a tough thing for all of us, not just you. And so I was kind of concerned. I was like, man, I was like, it's none of my business. I don't know you that well, but I wanted to be sure you're okay. So I'm glad that was just a joke. Okay, ends up being. I fell off one of them. Go around. That's hilarious, Scott. Isn't there a cost to get players' addresses to TTM? No, there's a website you can go to. I know, Doug. Can you put on which website you can go to that's free? There's a free website you can go to, and Scott probably knows it. I'm sure Scott knows it too, where you can get autographs for free. I forgot what it's called. It's like autograph.biz or something, or Fangraphs or fan autographs or something, sports graphs. I forgot. One of those guys will put on. That's a free one. I've never used it, but apparently it's pretty good still. The one I use when I used to do it, I still do it once in a while. I'll buy a subscription because it's only like $35 a year. I think at least it used to be, or 30. It's called Star Tiger because I used to use it when it was Star Archive. But Star Tiger is excellent. You can pay $5 a month or pay the $30 for the year. And it's updated daily, usually with hundreds and hundreds of updates with either successes, failures, change of address, return to senders. Yeah, I'm not listed on there as an autograph, but if you send me an autograph request, I will waive my fee for the YouTube community. Like what I used to do, and another thing you can do, but it takes a little bit of effort, but a lot of times you can use like the white pages, and find people's autograph or find people's addresses that way. Especially if they're not like famous people. Like, obviously you're not gonna be able to find Tom Cruise's address. Yeah, he doesn't have it listed in the white pages. But if you got the guy who played second base for the Houston Astros in 1967, I'm sure you could probably find his address somewhere if you know where to look. But if you don't want to do all that, you don't want to do all that work. Star Tiger is the best. My humble opinion is the absolute best website to go to. Again, it's a paid website, but it's not crazy expensive, $5 a month. Or there's like 2 or 3 other sites like Scott was just saying that you could go for free, but I'm not for sure as how up to date it is and how authoritative it is as far as their information. If it's like people messing stuff up, or if it's like whatever. Political donations. We like. I need some political donations before I sign your request. That 8x10 headshot of me. I used to have a shirt a friend of mine made, who's the t-shirt maker out of Austin, Texas, and he made my. I used to help run a film interview website podcast for years, probably 3 years, and I had like our channel had a pretty decent sized following, and one of our fans made t-shirts, and my picture, he made a picture of myself on the t-shirt, which is pretty hilarious, and he gave me one for free, but I'm sure I lost it or I threw it away or something from back in the day. Oh, Zab Search? Okay, so there you go. See, I thought he was trying to be like funny about it. So there you go, Mike. So apparently Zaba Search might help you validate addresses. So there you go. I don't know if I said much about that world, because I just go to Star Tiger, I pay my $5 a month or whatever, and just get right into it. Because you can literally pay the money and updates that moment, and you just go right to their website and you start grabbing addresses. Another thing I don't know why people don't do this is that if you have access to a printer, or if you don't have like a bajillion people that you want to do autograph stuff, you could just buy for a month and then spend the better part of a day or two and write down all the people you want to get an autograph of and their address, and just look them up on Star Tiger, write all of it down, and then cancel your subscription after a month and send out, and then do that, and then after a couple months do it again. It's not like you have to, do it every month and then have to do like 800 signatures. You can just pace it out. Do like 40 or 50, write down the addresses, be done with it, go back on. And then, like I said, in the meantime, you're sending out TTM requests. Yeah, I think most time free. Like I said, most of the free websites I know when it comes to TTMing is not all that great. That's the reason why I said Star Tiger is my opinion. If you want to do it right, I think Star Tiger is your best bet. I don't make any money off of that. I don't even TTM anymore, really. But I think that's your best bet. I had a ton of success there. I probably think my success rate is in the high 80s using Star Tiger. So it's pretty, and sometimes I try I'll have a whole huge autograph collection I hardly ever show off in my other room. If people ever want to watch, I always say this to people, but anybody ever wants to see it, I'm going to have to do some videos where I can bring it out, let people see it. And I can show some of the autographs I've received over the decade or so. Because I used to be hot and heavy into it. Like when I stopped doing cards, I go to TTM, and then I do TTM for a couple years. I go back to cards. And in between all that, I was watching movies because I'm a huge movie fan no matter what. But I left like probably 2/3 of my collection in Japan. And supposedly my ex-mother-in-law threw it all away. And I mean, I'm like devastated with the idea that actually happened. I'm surely should not throw away my whole autograph collection. Like, why would you do that? You know, I mean, she loved me. There was no problem with me and her, even when me and her daughter, her daughter, like, it's not like it was that kind of thing where she would be spiteful. And unless she just didn't know, I don't think she'd just go into my room when we were living there and she just throw it all away. So I'm hoping it's been put away somewhere and she just misplaced it. But I mean, almost all my horror autographs are still in Japan, or they're in a Japanese landfill somewhere, I guess, too. So that just makes me sick because of that. A lot of those autographs you can't find anymore. They're all the people are dead. So it's people I've been getting back in the early aughts before, you know, TTM got the hot level that it is now. Before it was just, you know, a few hundred people, I think, were really big into it. Now it's thousands and thousands. For sure. Hey, what's up, Ken? Yeah, Star Tiger is definitely tops. There's a bunch of Jagoffs, you better believe it. I mean, I can go get some. I mean, people want to look. I can kind of go grab it and show some stuff off today. I mean, I don't know if that's what most people want to do because it's probably like, you know, I don't mind showing off, but, you know, I don't want to bore people to death of autograph collecting. They're just like, I no care about this in the world, Jason. Because if I do a video of it later, then you can skip it. You don't have to watch it. You're like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. Thumbs up, Jason. Or I didn't come here to look at your autograph collection. Get back to baseball cards and being politically incorrect. Stop showing pictures of autographs of whoever. Don't be a jagoff. What do you mean, what did you? Mike, why are you having trouble with the English language, my friend? Well, you missed the conversation a little bit earlier, Ken. A lot of people are talking about that they're back to TTM and they're just fine. Like people getting back requests all the time. There hasn't been any huge, you know, drop in TTMing. So it might be worth jumping back on the old hobby horse. So let me go get some more tea. I'll be right back. It's time for some tea. You want some sweet tea? I don't like sweet tea. Oh, man, that tea goes right through me, dude. All right. Bringing it back, yo. Make sure I don't spill it all over my computer. All right. Dude, it's a lot, Scott. I'm like I said, I mean, we're talking about tons. And a lot of those were also in-person autographs, so I spent money on a lot of that stuff. A lot of directors that are hard to come by, a lot of politicians. I mean, like the majority of my collection, supposedly was thrown out. I mean, I don't even like thinking about it because it makes me so sad and sick to my stomach. But supposedly, yeah. Hey, what up? Kentucky Cactus. Very prickly. Oh, yeah, dude. You can TTM a baseball for sure. Rob Manfred, he does them for free. If you just request it, he sends you out an autograph Major League Baseball with his signature right on it. The commissioner does. If you go to the website and request it, it's a free one. At least it used to. And then if you send to like certain people who will do an autograph through the mail, you just want to check most baseball. Like I'm assuming you don't want to get, like I said, like the second baseman from the Astros 1967 team on a ball because that's going to be a lot more money. But if you want to do like Andre Dawson or Wade Boggs or whoever, if you just want to make sure you research and see what they charge, and you can send all that and they'll send it to you back. It's like usually a third of the cost of what you would do if you met them in person. So like a lot of times those guys like $50 in person. Sometimes it's even more than that. A lot of times you can get their autograph for like way less through the mail because they'll just want you to donate to their charity. So, but you got to research it before you do it. Most like Star Tiger is a good resource because they'll tell you send items. You know, this will be the list. It'll be the price list and what you can send and what you don't send and where to send it to and all that jazz. Yeah, maybe it would be the Astros. You know, the Joe Morgan. That might be an okay one to have. But as you know, what I'm trying to say is that some random guy you probably don't want to go send and spend cost of mail to and from that person's house on a baseball because it'll be a lot more expensive for some scrub player that on the team unless you just want to do that, unless that's just your thing. I'd rather send a baseball card opposed to a baseball. But if I'm going to send a Ryan Sandberg and I'm willing to spend the $20 to get him to sign a baseball, then yes, I'll do that because I know I'm going to get that baseball back signed by a Hall of Famer. So it's just kind of like knowing just kind of like knowing what, you know, how to do the game. Yeah. But yeah, I would definitely, the main thing is research. Any TTM guy or gal will tell you the main thing is you got to do research about the subject you're going to use. Don't just spend money and waste your money on sending out an item or to an address that's not valid or an item that they won't sign. John Landis, he won't sign. He used to sign through the mail for free. You can send him anything, or you can just ask him to send you something that's a free autograph, or he'll autograph a couple different things, but he wouldn't autograph anything from the movie The Twilight Zone because the person, while he was directing, a person died. Him and a kid died, and a couple people died in a helicopter crash. So he won't sign anything from The Twilight Zone. So you don't want to send the whole thing to The Twilight Zone, paraphernalia to John Landis because one, he won't sign it, and two, he might be offended and won't sign anything. So it's not worth even trying. But if you sign send something like, whatever he did, like, Coming to America or American Wolf in London, those kind of things, and he'll be happy to sign it. So you just got to kind of know your audience. Don't do something stupid and just send like a baseball to, Nolan Ryan and then for free, and then don't expect him to be like, oh, I'll just do this for free. He don't want your money. He has a fee that you have to pay, and then he'll sign it, but he's not going to do it if you just send like $5. Be, oh, here, can you sign my baseball for me? It's not going to work like that. Yeah, you got to be careful. Don't be too prickly. T. What's up, Henry? Oh, Henry. I like how Henry starts out some of his videos. He gets the camera going, and he goes, oh, there's bad light in here. There's bad light in here. But it's okay. I'll just go ahead and go with it. Or I've been trying to fix the lighting, but he'll be like, I don't care anymore. And it's just like, and then it's like he just gets right into it. He brings it up, and then he addresses the lighting, even though I don't ever think it's bad necessarily. But it's like, okay, the lighting's pretty bad here, but let's just get into it. I like my videos like suck all the time, but I'm okay with it. Yeah, I was TTMing before TTMing was considered cool. If you consider Miles Davis cool, or is Peter your parents cool, consider me Miles Davis. That's what I was going for. Oh man. Yeah, I'll have to get on here and show off what left of my autograph collection I have, because I have everything in this one huge box, and it's just like chock full of autographs. I mean, I still have a lot. I still have hundreds and hundreds of autographs, but nothing like I had a while before I moved to Japan. Yeah, who cares, Henry? You're right. If they don't like it, they don't have to watch your channel, dude. That's how I feel. If you don't like what I have to say, you don't like my setup, you don't like anything about what I'm doing, then why are you even watching my channel? Then just keep on keeping on, dude. Just move on. Go bother somebody else who actually cares about that stuff. I'm right there with you. So there you go. Scott just said Nolan Ryan $60, which I feel like is a pretty fair price for one of the most famous Hall of Famers and definitely one of the best pitchers ever, getting a signed autograph on baseball for $60. I mean, I feel like that's worth it. Especially if he's going to charge you the same amount of money on a card, or like $20 less. I would just be like, okay, I'll do it. I'll be your Huckleberry, you know. And because a lot of times when you meet him in person, because a lot of times you're paying more money for the experience if you're meeting people in person. So that $60 autograph that Scott's talking about ends up being $120 in person because you're meeting him. And even though you might not even be able to get a picture, you might just end up going with, it might just be like a big old cattle call, and you don't even really talk to him. You're just like, hello, Mr. Ryan, can you please sign this? He signs it, hey, thanks for coming, hands it to you, and you're gone. The interaction is 3 seconds, and that's worth another $60. So I'd much rather just skip that, get it through the mail. No, I'm going to get an authentic autograph through him or his foundation or his organization for half the money. QBS. What's QBS, dude? I don't know what QBS is. Oh yeah, I know. I mean, like I said, there's lots of guys. You're right. I mean, Peyton Manning's a good guy. A lot of those guys will sign through their foundations or through the charities. So it's definitely possible to get, Hall of Famers or superstars autographs. But you got to pay for it. But still, it's pretty reasonable opposed to an in-person meeting where they're going to charge you more. It just, like I was saying before, I collect a lot of film stars, a lot of horror movie stars. And if you go to their websites, you go to or you send to their home addresses or their websites, a lot of times it's free or a very reasonable, like $10 or whatever. But if you meet them in person at a convention, it used to be like $20, which I felt like was a very fair price. You get a picture with them for free, and they would sign your item. And sometimes they'd sign a couple different items for a flat $20. Now almost everybody starts out at like $40, and then you got to pay an additional $20 or $40 for their picture on your own camera, on your own phone. You got to pay for your own thing. So they won't take a picture with you for free for $40 on your item or on your own, camera, on your own phone. You got to pay for the autograph, and you got to pay for the picture. And all they do is just sit in their seat there like this. And they just turn back around like, thanks. So I was very fortunate that I got a lot of those guys way back when. Or you just go through like Star Tiger and get them for free, or like next to nothing, opposed to going to a convention. We got to pay to get in. Somebody got to pay to park, pay for food, pay for the autograph, pay for the picture if that's what you're into. All that. It turns into a $20 transaction over the internet or through their own home mailing address, or even for free. Turned into a $75 transaction. It's like, to me, it's not even an option. It's like, it's just pure, money at that point. It's just pure economics. What makes more sense? So for sure. Scott, worried about making that 10 or 20 that making people might watch your videos. Yeah, no, I haven't been to the Walgreens around my house, but there is a CS down the street from my house, and it's really honestly not that bad here. I mean, obviously, I'm sure at some points of the day it's a lot busier, but there's a Red Box out front, so I've been renting a lot of movies there recently, and I'm always there. Not always, I'm there once every day, and it's like 5 or 6 cars in the parking lot. It's never been that bad. It's not like it's 50 cars there, but for sure. 25, I feel like very reasonable. I mean, Payne's a Hall of Famer, so I mean, you definitely get a good deal. Yeah, Doug, you know it better than me, man, but you know what I'm talking about back in the day. It'd be very reasonably priced. I mean, you get a free picture. And I have to say free because now you're going to get charged for it. You would think a picture just comes along with a transaction of $20 or whatever it is. But you have to pay extra for that now. So I'd much rather just go online and get it. So that's pretty good for only $5. When he was $5, you guys for free. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm probably the only guy that uses Redbox. You're right, because I don't do live streaming. I like physical media. I always do. I mean, if you could see, I have my Blu-ray and DVD collection right over to my left, and it's huge. Enough said. Cards is calling me. I'm gonna call him back. See if I can give him a call back. But yeah, so I still like physical media, and also a lot of times, Redbox gets things faster than downloading it, unless you download it illegally, stream it, because a lot of things you can't stream yet unless you have to pay $5, $8, $10, $20 for it. I go to Redbox for $1.60 and get it. That's still cheaper than anywhere else. So unless you go buy the physical copy brand new for $10 to $20, stream it for usually roughly between $10 and $20, or you then illegally download it, which I refuse to illegally download anything because it's stealing. Your best option is going to the Redbox. So for, like I said, $1.60, I'll be your Huckleberry. Yeah, of course, you're right, Doug. That's 100% true. Yeah, I just bought a CD off of eBay this last week. I've been listening to it in my car. You're exactly right, dude. I'm glad I'm not the only one who likes the Redbox still. Yeah, I like Redbox. Like I said, I mean, Redbox is cheaper than anywhere else you're gonna go. Yeah, I know. My Dollar General store or my Dollar Tree's got. I have a whole bunch. I went there during Christmas, which I didn't even know, or right after Christmas, and they had a crap ton of Blu-rays and DVDs. I've been selling them on eBay for like $20, $30. I don't know why they were so expensive, but I guess they're like out of print. But I've been selling a whole bunch of them. I need to go back and check it out. So, but yeah, that's the thing. Vendors can't make any money because, like you said, because I don't do really sports conventions, but film conventions, I do a lot of those. And like I said, even the film conventions, everybody's wanting to charge you, like what Doug was saying, like your starting out rate for, we're talking about like the most like Z level, like horror movie person is like $40 now. Every great once in a while you run into a person who'll still do $20 a month, $20 or whatnot. But that's talking about like maybe out of a convention of like 40 people, you might have one guy or gal who will do that. Everybody else start out fees 40. So we're like literally talking about the fourth victim in the Friday the 13th movie from 1985. So like Friday the 13th part 5 or whatever it was. That person literally is asking for $40. And then you have somebody like Robert Englund who used to be $20. He's like asking for like 80 now. Now, Robert Englund's a much bigger star. Robert Englund is Freddy Krueger for anybody who doesn't know. So even though Robert Englund is very famous in that world, most people would not even know who he is. If you walked on the streets, unless you're a horror movie fan, you wouldn't even know who that guy is. But horror movie fans are so gullible and idiotic that they will pay close to $100 for Robert Englund. So then you have people like William Shatner go, well, if Robert Englund's charging 80, then I'm 120. So then you have people like William Shatner, who is recognizable the world over, who charges starting out the gate 120, and then like another 100 for a picture. So it's just like a rabbit hole that you never get. That's why I don't do conventions anymore, because of that reason. Because it's just, they just look at you as a dollar sign. You just have a big S with two lines down you, and that's how everybody looks at you. The promoters, the talent managers, the actual talent, they don't look at you as a person, as a fan, as the reason why they're even able to do those shows or even have careers. They look at you like a big old dollar sign walking by. It's ridiculous. Yeah. My Dollar Tree, I had a bunch of DC comic book movies, like the cartoon ones that sell really well. A bunch of Blu-ray, 3D, DVD sold in. I still got some in a box. I can go get them for you. Some TV shows from the 80s. So yeah, you just got to be careful how you do it. Yeah, WWF people, they're usually in the past been pretty reasonable, because most of those wrestlers are still getting a paycheck, because a lot of them are still involved with wrestling in some capacity. So a lot of those guys in the past, I haven't seen it recently, are not as crazy. They're in that $25 to $50 range, roughly. Like I've seen Ric Flair, and he's like really reasonable. I think he's like 30 or 40. I mean, I met Roddy Piper back in the day. He was like 20. He was real reasonable. Chris Jericho was pretty reasonable. He was a douchebag, but he was reasonable. Trying to think of some other people. A lot of those guys are pretty reasonable. But like Margot Kidder, I never met her before. But yeah, rest in peace for sure on her. See you later, Scott. Take care, brother. Yeah, that's for sure. They do that. Yeah, Jake the Snake, I met him, and his was really cool because he was doing his own thing. He was doing his own like comedy tour, and his was like whatever you bought off of his table, his autograph was free. So you could buy like an 8x10, and it was like $20, and you get the autograph and the picture for free. So that's the deal. That's the deal I'm looking for. Because I understand that they're using their time and they got to make money too. I get it. So I don't expect it to be free, but I also don't feel like I need to bring a bottle of a jar of KY jelly when I walk into the convention center so I can get screwed, because that's what it usually feels like. Yeah, a lot of smaller conventions are very much like there's one I go to in Louisville where I'm from. It's called Wonderfest, and it's mostly science fiction type stuff, and they're 5 or 6 guests are really reasonable. Sometimes they sign for free. And then there's one called oh shoot, what is it called? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. I can't think of it. What is it? It's in Strongsville, Ohio. I can't. What is that? I can't think of it. Oh my gosh. What is it called? I'm trying to look it up. Strongsville, Ohio. Cinema Wasteland in Strongsville, Ohio is a grindhouse grindhouse and a subversive cinema convention. It's mostly this genre of films. Their prices, they have like 30 guests roughly or so, 20, 30 guests, and they keep their prices pretty low. I think they tell those guys like, hey, you can charge whatever you want, but don't go over like $30 or whatever. And most of those stars are pretty like low level stars. I mean, you really have to like cinema and those specific movies. So you really can't have some random chick or guy trying to charge that on some guy who was in one movie in 1969 that was made in Italy on a shoestring budget. No one's doing that. So you got to be a little bit. So a lot of times they'll be a little bit more realistic in those scenarios. Yeah, I mean, Jake the Snake was awesome. Really great guy. He was a little bit standoffish, I think, at first. Like, he's trying to read the crowd. So I kind of felt like a little bit sorry for him because I think he came there with at least 1 or 2 of his own people because he was doing like a stand-up. So I think he was a little bit guarded. But as soon as he felt comfortable, he was like goofing around. Hey, see you later, kid. Take care. But yeah, he was a little standoffish at first. I thought he was kind of a jerk. But I just realized he was trying to read the room and, see how people are going to act to him. And then he ended up being like trying to tell jokes like, your grandpa would tell jokes. And you're just like, should I laugh or should I just, be cordial and laughing with him? I'm like, I don't know if I would really think that's all that funny. But when he got up on the stage, he was hilarious. But he was trying to make small talk. It felt a little bit awkward. But he's still a good guy. So yeah. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna hop off of here. This green tea is making me want to go to the pate. So hopefully everybody enjoyed. It was nice impromptu this afternoon. It was good. Take care, and we will see you later. Thank you.